Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and with my co-hosts for this episode, Jacqui Bruglera and Melissa Traverse. In this episode, we revisit 4 interviews from Taste Radio's NYC meetup, including those with Rachel Krupa, the founder of influential retailer The Goods Mart, and Cole Riley, the VP of Engagement and Partnerships for mission-driven nonprofit organization Rethink Food. Well, I'd like to be back in New York City soon, but I'm going to have to wait because I don't have any plans to be back there until mid-June. That's when BevNet Live Summer 2025 is happening, June 11th and 12th. The whole damn industry is going to be there. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you.
You're missing out.
There's hundreds of people already registered. We're gearing up for, looks like going to be our largest event to date in New York City. A lot of innovative brands coming, a lot of established brands coming, and a lot of great speakers. And if you haven't seen yet, we have released the agenda. So head to BevNET.com and check out the 2-day agenda, see who's speaking, when they're speaking, start planning your trip, start planning what insights you want to take away from the event.
Exactamundo. And the after party is always the best networking part of the event for sure. That's happening on June 11th, the day of the first day of BevNet Live, and you don't want to miss it. I'm sure John Craven will have handfuls of Negronis, canned Negronis to pass out, and it's a fun time. It's a fun time. But for sure, the agenda is packed. It is a really, really well curated schedule that we have for the 2 days. I, of course, am really excited for our competition, the New Beverage Showdown. And today, Friday, May 2nd, is the final day that you can apply to participate in this competition. We are going to be sorting through the applications and choosing a few semifinalists, 12 to be exact, to take the stage at BevNet Live. And I got to tell you, I mean, we've talked about this a number of times on the podcast, but getting up on stage, introducing yourself to the industry, hundreds of folks who have never heard of your brand before, having people try your product, having people look at the packaging, offer advice, offer feedback, it is invaluable to be able to do exactly that. And brands have really benefited from doing so. I mean, I'm not saying that there would have been no Liquid Death or Health Aid or Malk or, Can before if there were no New Beverage Showdown, but it's certainly helped build awareness, build enthusiasm, build excitement for those brands.
There's just no better way to get in front of the entire beverage industry. And you never know who you're going to chat with after you pitch. It's just such a great way to get exposure and introduce yourself to the industry.
Yeah, it's also a critical time for feedback. Like if you're pitching on stage, you're going to hear a lot of different pieces of feedback and take what you will, but you can often avoid, common missteps and maybe save a bit of money by making some changes at the early stages of your business rather than backtracking once you're more established.
Definitely. Again, today is the last day to apply to participate in the New Beverage Showdown. We'll be picking 12 semifinalists. There will be 6 finalists and 1 winner. That winner could be you, but only if you apply to participate in the New Beverage Showdown at BevNet Live Summer 2025. We want to see you there. It was great seeing a lot of early stage and emerging brands at Naturally San Diego's Naturally Rising competition, pitch competition that is, which was held last week on April 24th. I was so honored to MC the competition, which featured 5 amazing brands, including the winner, which was Chasin Dreams Farm, which is a maker of better-for-you snacks. Runner-up was Recoup. Everyone knows what Recoup is. The better-for-you brand of hydration beverages. The People's Choice winner was Mooski, the brand of refrigerated granola bars. It is a fantastic, delicious, amazing brand of products. Fierce and Kind, which is a mission-driven brand of alcoholic beverages. They make a bourbon, they make a vodka, they make some incredible tasting products. And on stage, Bassam, who is the founder, did a really, really great job identifying and explaining why Fierce and Kind is doing something that is transformational and differentiated in the beverage alcohol category. And then, of course, No Nasty, a really interesting brand of clean label, or at least I don't know how you would describe it, cleaning products. Can you say that?
Cleaner products.
Cleaner
I like that.
cleaning.
Cleaner cleaning products. Great branding, and it was really cool to see what they're trying to do in terms of that industry, cleaning that industry all up. So once again, I was honored to be there with the Naturally San Diego team. Jacqui, you were there. The excitement, the enthusiasm, the raucous energy, I would call it, was all there.
Yeah, it's always fun to participate in their annual pitch slam. I mean, the community in San Diego is amazing. Everyone's so supportive. Everyone's cheering each other on while they're on stage. It's just a really fun event to be a part of, and to see some faces that, come around every year and see these brands grow. I know like some of these brands have been in our pitch competitions, and now they're like moving on and doing other things. And it's really cool to just reconnect with the San Diego community.
Yeah, Recoup won our New Beverage Showdown at BevNet Live Winter 2024. Mooski participated in our Nosh Pitch Slam. I think that was 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I think Robert Broom, who's the founder of that company, everyone knew he was onto something. And I'm so glad to see that he's doing well and really getting more and more distribution out there for Mooski, because, as we know, refrigerated is a tough business, but he makes such a delicious product that you want to keep going back and back and back for those products.
Yeah, and Sydney Chasin from Chasin Dreams, I've known her for a while, and she started in food service. She's going through a mega rebrand, and it's really cool to see just how that brand's evolving and how it's building a lot of momentum, and now she has the big win.
I think that Mooski sort of offers that perfect combination of good for you, but also totally delicious. What more could you want than, basically like overnight oats coated in chocolate? And then Recoup was actually just on the Non-Base podcast with a supplier called the Forest Farmers and Wild Orchard. They use maple sap as the base of their beverage, and it's so delicious. It's so good for you. It sounds like it was such a great show.
It really was. It was a very quick trip for me. I think I was in San Diego itself for, 36 hours or something like that between flight times and adding that all together. It was I was probably actually in the city for 36 hours, but man, I would do it in a heartbeat again, because NSD does such a great job. Kirsten Riley, who is the executive director of NSD, I mean, she leads that organization with so much passion, enthusiasm, professionalism. I'm just proud that we're a part of it, because it's really cool. I mean, we have the Naturally San Diego chapter. We've got Naturally LA. And obviously, we've got Naturally New England, which is a tremendous chapter as well. And we're going to be participating in events. Actually, Melissa, you're hosting an event essentially out there in Providence next month.
Just as you were so honored to MC the San Diego event, I'm so honored to MC the Naturally New England event. It's on May 22nd at Farm Fresh, Rhode Island. And we have an amazing lineup of brands pitching. We've got Cleva Health, which is so cool. It's a brand that does gummies that are based on Eastern herbs. So Cleva Health, Uncle Todd's, which is also a cleaner cleaning brand. We have Farmer Foodie, which is the cashew parm, of course, that we all know and love. Singing Pastures Farm, which is a farm that is doing meat sticks. They're so good. And then Kanza Crumbs. They have a sourdough based kind of bread crumble that you use for crunch and seasoning and all that. So that's going to be super exciting. And Ray, you're going to be doing interviews, aren't you?
Taste Radio will have a studio set up at the event, recording content, talking to folks who are attending. Short interviews, nothing too long. We'll be featuring them on future episodes of the podcast. Very excited for that. We had a similar studio at a Naturally San Diego event in January, and it was so great. We got so many good interviews out of that one, and I'm hoping we can do the same here in the great region of New England.
If you are local or if you're going to be in the area, go to naturallynE.org and you can get your tickets there.
Melissa, to your point about creating something that's better for you, but really delicious and decadent, I think this is what we're starting to see in the candy space, right? I mean, people know that candy in general is not great for you, but there are a lot of brands that are attempting to make it better for you than traditional brands that have been out there. And I think about a new company that came to market, or a new brand that came to market. It's called Hormbles Chormbles. If you're watching the video, here's the nice little package they sent me. Hormbles Chormbles describes itself as revolutionizing confectionery with high protein, zero sugar, 100 calorie candy bars. And they're formulated to, quote, make candy make sense. So in this little package I have 4 bars. There are 4 varieties: cookies and cream, salted fudge, peanut butter, and classic milk. They come in these bright yellow packages that look like traditional candy bars or chocolate bars. I don't know what Hormbles Chormbles means. I'm going to have to probably look that up a little bit. But I'm wondering if we're starting to see better for you candy sort of peak with products like these, or if this is sort of perhaps the beginning of the end. I don't mean to be so pessimistic about it, but I don't know, and no knock on this brand whatsoever. And the guy who founded it, Jared Smith, he's the co-founder of RX Bar, obviously tons and tons of success with that brand, $600 million sale to Kellogg. I don't know if I would reach for this immediately. I don't know if I would say I need 10 grams of protein in my chocolate bar.
I actually just saw an influencer on TikTok talking about Hormbles Chormbles. They tried the peanut butter version. And I think it always comes down to, how does it taste? So if it's candy, it has to taste good. And then if you look at the nutritionals and you see that there's protein in there, which I think that there is, the influencer that was talking about the peanut butter Hormbles Chormbles said it was absolutely delicious and it does have protein. So if it tastes great, I think that's the most important thing. And then it's really nice to see that there's no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial colors, that kind of, maybe lower sugar. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of fits in between almost like the protein bar category and candy. I think in candy in general, people want the taste, like Melissa was saying, like they expect a certain taste or flavor or something that tastes decadent. So if it delivers on that front, then I think people would be more likely to come back to it. I think also people, if they're looking for the functionality or looking for protein, they might like allow it to maybe not taste exactly like candy. But if it's delivering on that, then I think like it could be successful. I also think that there's still a lot of room to take down, like Hershey, because you go to like any convenience store and there's still not a lot of better for you candy in the candy aisle.
Or even okay for you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see this brand replacing Hershey bars in any way, shape, or form at any time, but it could be a good brand for Hershey to have in its stable for people that are looking for products like these. But they're definitely not marketing protein first and foremost. At least that's not the way I see it. It seems like they're marketing a delicious candy bar first and foremost. They do describe it as a high protein, zero sugar, chocolate flavored. Note that chocolate flavored candy bar. So I'm gonna try this peanut butter one that you mentioned.
Where does the chocolate flavor come from? Is there any cocoa mass or anything in it?
That's a good question. I'm looking at the ingredients right now. It says Dutch processed cocoa powder is in this. It's sweetened with allulose and stevia and monk fruit.
How does it taste?
I got to tell you, this is delicious. This is really good. This peanut butter variety.
I would honestly expect it to not taste good.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Like I would probably not grab it just because I don't want protein in my chocolate. Maybe if it was just like a value add of like, hey, this has some nutrition in it. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily grab a protein chocolate.
This is much, much better than I thought it was going to be. It is certainly comparable to anything out there in terms of candy bars. There is, for me, at least, and this is just the one peanut butter variety, no compromise. And I was expecting compromise, to your point, Jacqui. I think some people would say, oh, well, if it has a lot of protein in it, I'm okay with it not tasting as good. But that has been my problem with a lot of better for you candy out there, is some of it is saying, okay, well, this is pretty good. It's a little bit better for you. You have to expect that some of the flavor is not going to be there. And I'm like, no, that's not. I reject that. I'm not okay with that, because all you have to do, and this is me talking, is eat less if you don't want all the bad stuff all the time. Moderation, perhaps. And I think there's some parallels to what we're seeing in alcohol analogs, where whether it's beer or wine or spirits or canned cocktails, bottled cocktails that are non-alcoholic, I feel like there's a question at this point of, why am I drinking this? Is it just because I want to be part of the social group and that's the only thing available? Or am I drinking it because I actually like it? And I think the latter is really, really important, and getting more and more important to more people.
I actually, on that note, have something that I picked up in the BevNet kitchen. This is a light vodka by a brand called Body. So it's light vodka with natural flavor. It's 30% alcohol, 60 proof, which I think is about 20% lighter than the vodka that you typically use. I tried it. I thought it was great, but I'm also wondering, why not just use half the amount of vodka that you normally use, which is actually something that I've been doing because, as you guys know, I love a cocktail on a Friday and a Saturday night, but I also want to mitigate some of the negative effects. So I've been making half strength cocktails. I can still have two, but when you think about the price point between, maybe a light vodka and the vodka that you normally drink, I'm sort of wondering how people are going to make their choices.
Well, vodka doesn't have a ton of flavor. Is it good?
It's good. Yeah, it tastes like vodka. It tastes exactly like you'd want it to. So, on that note, it works perfectly.
I think also like who's the consumer, because like for example, this product that I have in my hand, it's called Spiked Aid, and it's pretty much just calling out that it's 100 calories and it's powered by vodka. And but it's calling itself as an aid, so it's almost like saying that you can drink this and hydrate at the same time as you're drinking. So like, are you drinking this to enjoy it, or you just want to like feel less guilt and make sure you don't have a hangover because you're going to have like crush multiple of these? So like if someone that's like a candy consumer regularly, like maybe they could throw in a better for you candy every so often to feel a little bit better about their decisions.
The big question, though, is, are we going to be seeing a world, say, in 5 years, where people are consistently chomping on Hormbles Chormbles, sipping on Body vodka, and drinking, crushing Spiked Aid at the beach? I don't know. I'm being cynical and a little pessimistic, and also devil's advocate here. I'm going back to this point of, is the answer not drastic changes in the brands that are on the market, but more eating less and making better decisions just in general when it comes to your food and beverage choices?
I feel like also sometimes like these products are maybe overcomplicating and like creating these new things, whereas we've also seen the trend of just becoming, simpler, like having very, very simple ingredients. Like I found this candy bar in my local coffee shop called Mild Addictions, and it's literally just dark chocolate with a medjool date center. So it's
Ooh.
very, very simple ingredients and it's delicious. And next time I'll have it with me, but I ate it super fast. But that's just an example of like, I would maybe lean towards that because it just has very clean ingredients as a treat.
I think it always comes down to price and flavor. So I think that's how the majority of consumers make their decisions, especially if you're going for a mass market play. So I think if better for you products can compete with the Hershey's of the world on that level, then, it'd be really interesting to see what happens.
I agree. And I do see Hormbles Chormbles as actually making a mark because of the flavor, because it's so delicious, because it already looks like a ready for prime time brand with its packaging. I'm looking at the press release right now and trying to find price point. So it is available online at Hormbles.com. 39.99 white point, 39.99 per box of 12 bars. So not inexpensive, a little over $3 a bar, but yeah, I can definitely see this on shelf at a Target or Walmart. And again,
Yeah.
the biggest thing you're seeing here is the brand name, the flavor name on either side of that brand name. You do see 0 grams of sugar, 10 grams of protein, and 100 calories at the top of the package, but it's much smaller than you would expect to see on some of these quote unquote better for you candy bars and whatnot. I do see this as potentially part of a new cohort of candy bar brands like a Harkin, like a Gigantic and Hormbles that taste really, really great, give you no compromise, but are better for you options than what's currently out there. No offense to, dual function cocktail brands, but I think I wonder if it's a solution looking for a problem as opposed to a problem looking for a solution, right?
Are you actually solving a problem?
Exactly. Like, do you have a solution for a problem that doesn't exist, or do you have a solution for a problem that has been out there and that people are looking to solve, actively looking to solve? So this came across my desk, and it is one of the better and more interesting marketing campaigns that I've seen in a while. Everyone has been obsessed with AI of late. Our dear colleagues, John and Mike, who are out of town today, would be all over this. But Del Real Foods, a maker of authentic Hispanic fresh foods, has announced its first ever brand campaign. They're calling it Abuela Intelligence in celebration of Cinco de Mayo. So it celebrates, according to this press release, everything that Del Real Food stands for: real meals inspired by Abuela's recipes. They have a TV commercial, they have some online video, social media, and so they have this Abuela road trip, which is a mobile sampling tour where they're going to stop in select markets and allow shoppers to taste fan favorites while discovering the brand's heritage and authentic recipes. So I'm looking at one of the images here for the campaign. It says the best AI is Abuela Intelligence, and I guess you can call your abuela to learn more.
Yeah.
So
I watched the video, like a blip of the commercial, and it's literally a call center and everyone's calling in for advice, and it's just, like the advice you get from your abuela, from your grandmother, and it's pretty funny. I mean, it's like everyone, like you said, is obsessed with AI, but it's like, how about just human advice? How about just talking to a human? And what better human than like a very caring, loving abuela?
I love the call-in line so much. It's like remember the Butterball turkey talk line for Thanksgiving
oh
where
yeah,
you can call Butterball and ask them all your turkey questions. This is like the next generation of that.
Mm-hmm.
all right. I want to hear about the Doritos.
Me too.
Okay, yes. Melissa was just pumping up Doritos before we hopped on the mics. I can't even.
Look what I have.
She's holding up the bag right now, and the bag is so redundant. I don't even know where to begin. But please go ahead.
So I was in a CVS with my younger son and he picked these up. I normally wouldn't gravitate towards the Doritos, but he picked these up and I looked and I saw that they were branded late night. So these are Doritos. It's from the late night line. This is the loaded taco version. So I looked this up and sure enough, they have a late night line that features flavors like loaded taco, sizzling cheeseburger, and zesty jalapeno popper. The idea is that they're marketed towards those with late night cravings who enjoy bold food inspired flavors. But right to your point, aren't Doritos always a late night thing.
Yes.
Like, you wake
Yeah,
up and you're filled with regret, but in the moment, you have to admit, I mean, they're not better for you, but Doritos are delicious.
they are. I mean, they pack the flavor. And when I think of late night, I'm like, okay, a couple drinks in, I'm craving something a little salty,
Yeah.
well,
Yep.
delicious, loaded taco flavor, maybe. So I would maybe have that in my pantry just as, you know, in case I need it.
I am curious about the sizzling cheeseburger flavor. Like how meaty are those chips? I have
I,
to know.
I don't want the sizzling one. I want the been sitting in a bag on your counter for 2 hours while you passed out and then wake up and realize that you haven't eaten anything. I want the bland, cold cheeseburger. I don't want the sizzling one. I don't want any. No, no, thank you.
Greasy paper, soggy
Yes,
bread, and
Yes.
lots of regret.
yes.
Hmm.
Waking up at 6:45 a.m. with some of the ketchup still on your face and
Oh
saying,
yeah.
"My God, I'm never doing this again," and then doing the same thing the next weekend. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
not me. I'm just generalizing
So
again.
technically, the Dorito version would be like the better for you option.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Is yeah, that's a
well,
better for you option in that case.
well done, Jacqui. Well done. You got me. All right. Now that we're done with Doritos, are we? Are there more late night varieties out there?
I'm gonna be keeping my eyes peeled to see what other late night flavors they might have. I feel like they should also do a dessert version with like ice
Oh,
cream or something.
Interesting. I don't
no.
know. I don't think I would grab that.
No, it wouldn't be that good.
No, I think that's some serious food beast material. But if you follow Food Beast on social media, yeah, that's good stuff. All right, Jacqui,
Right.
do you have anything that's better for you than
I have
that?
lots of things that are actually better for you
Okay.
over here. One of the items, speaking of vegan Parmesan, we met with Madly Hadley at
Oh
the
yeah.
Naturally San Diego event. She, Madly, has these bacon bits, which are actually vegan. They're made of out of coconut. They're really, really tasty. She's created a new look for her packaging, and she also is launching a vegan parmesan, which is made with cashews. And I love the branding. She does a lot of like the packaging herself and does some illustrations on it. Yeah, really cool founder, really good, really delicious product. And to wash that down with, I another product I found at my local coffee shop is Kira. I think that's how you pronounce it, Kirra. And it's a line of pretty much just simple, better for you teas. And this is their black tea. They also have a green tea. This one is a passion fruit guava. I know they also have a lychee variety. And on the pack, they're really just focused on this is lightly sweet, no sugar added, antioxidant rich, and it's just a good, tasty iced tea, which, you know, is what people want. And they're not really like going for over functionality either, just like very, very simple. And the packaging's really, really pretty and clean.
It's gorgeous. How do they sweeten it if not with sugar?
They have some juice in it. So there's a little bit of orange juice and passion fruit juice and apple juice. So it's just brewed tea and then some juices and natural guava flavor.
Nice.
Hmm.
That does sound good. And the branding look, it's a great looking brand. Really good packaging for sure. That when you posted that on Instagram, I was like, Jacqui, you got to talk about this in the next episode because it looks amazing.
Yeah, they have some fun social media too, and it's all talking about like when you grab like a tea that has like adaptogens in it and a million different functional ingredients, and one of the founders is just like has all these equations in his head of like, what does this mean? Like, what am I actually drinking? And he's like, but you could just drink this and know exactly what you're drinking.
I also made myself a tasty little beverage. This is a doesn't it's a strawberry matcha latte.
Mm.
I made this with a product that just came into the BevNet office. This is Whole Moon. It's pistachio milk, and they combined pistachios with whole roasted soybeans. So they have a number of different SKUs. They have almond, oat, pistachio, and coconut. And they combined the nut milk or the coconut with whole roasted soybeans. And it gives it this really creamy, smooth flavor they don't use any oils in the product, but I guess by using the whole roasted soybeans, they get the creaminess from the entire soybean. And I think it's just so delicious and so smooth. I feel like I was avoiding soy for a while because I heard like it's not good for you, it's a hormone disruptor. But I just really love the flavor of this. I thought this was so good. And then for the strawberry component, I used this crushed tonic strawberry milk NYLK collagen. And I'm pretty excited about my tasty little beverage.
Yeah, that looks delicious. I feel like people have been going back to soy milk with just like the information on seed oils and things like that. There's just always something that could be bad for us. So it's a lot of like
Right.
rotation of different products.
And it's a complete protein. Like I see here, there's 6 grams of protein per serving. So I mean, everyone's obsessed with protein, right?
Hmm.
That's the only thing you need nowadays. You don't need anything else but
Nothing
protein.
else.
Yes. Pretty soon we're going to start seeing protein in bottled cocktails. Luckily, we haven't seen that yet, as far as I know. But
Gonna happen.
Toothpaste.
oh gosh, oof, that was close. Okay. So I mentioned I have some booze on the rocks, which is a maker of delicious bottled cocktails made in these or packaged in these 375 milliliter glass bottles, has released 2 limited edition products. This is what they're describing as their Harmony collection, a limited edition collaboration featuring 2 elevated ready to serve cocktails crafted by world-renowned bartender and proprietor of Tokyo's iconic Bar High Five. Now there's a more, the guy's name I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to butcher it. But anyway, Bar High Five is the name of the brand that inspired these cocktails. They have a Japanese Boulevardier that's made with Toki Suntory whiskey and a Yuzu Matcha Martini made with Haku vodka. How delicious do these things sound? I mean,
He sounds so good.
a Boulevardier made with Japanese whiskey
Yeah.
and a Yuzu Matcha Martini. I cannot wait to crack these open. They look amazing.